of Installer's Assistant. My name's Marty, and today we're working on my own personal Toyota Aurion 2009 Prasara. I have an issue with my clock spring behind here. The clock spring is the connection between the steering wheel and the shaft that allows buttons to be transferred through a moving part. All these ones work, but these three do not. I did for a little while realise that if I turn the steering wheel around a certain point, probably, I think from memory, it was around about there, I can get it to work a little bit, but any other time it doesn't, which is a really good indication that the clock spring mechanism behind here has failed. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to pull the steering wheel off and pull the clock spring out, replace it, put it back together again, and all going to plan, I'll be able to control my temperature from the steering wheel again. So let's get started. Alright guys, now typically with cars with SRS, especially in the steering wheel, if you're doing anything at all to do with an SRS system, like taking the steering wheel off, changing the buttons, that kind of thing, always disconnect the battery before you do anything else. Bear in mind that if you have special tuning set on your radio, you might want to take a note of what the tuning settings are, because once you disconnect this, a lot of times you will lose all those memories. Personally, I don't care, I can redo it. Okay, battery's disconnected. Let's wait a few minutes and start pulling the steering wheel apart. Okay, next thing we need to do now that the battery is disconnected is start removing the airbag. Now on these cars there's a plastic panel around here which I'm going to basically pop straight off. There is a full video on how to remove this to change the steering wheel buttons, which I've already done. In my car they come out factory silver. I didn't like it and they were worn, so I put on some black ones. I should talk through this. In there now you should see a torx screw, so T30. Okay. Okay, that is massively tight, which is a good thing. So on my T30 screwdriver I have a hole at the end, which is really good for leverage. Put another screwdriver through the end. There we go. It's funny, I don't remember putting it back on that tight. Okay, we'll loosen it, but you will see that doesn't matter how far I loosen it, it doesn't come out. Okay, there's little latches on it to stop the screw from popping out. Alright. Let's move on to the other side, which also has a removable panel. So pop that off. And again, with my T30. Right up in there. And again, it'll only come out so far. That should be enough to release my steering wheel, or the airbag anyway. Okay. We now have some connections to release. We'll start with the black one, which should just pop straight back out. There is a little catch, you might see that in there. There's a hole in the terminal, and on the plug there's a little dimple. Occasionally that will get stuck, in which case you'll have to poke through from the other side with some form of pokey tool and give it a bit of a push, and that will release it. Now we'll undo our airbags. We basically have to pop up the yellow lock on both, and then it should pop off nice and easy. Like such. Okay, so for you guys who were watching before, you would have seen that I took off the Phillips screw down here and then changed that side, and I took off the Phillips screw there and changed that side, and all this wiring was replaced in here. Because we're changing the clock spring, we're going to take these out as well. This behind here is the clock spring. You might just be able to see that moving behind the scenes down here. Okay, that's two pieces that do this. Alright, let's get ourselves the right size there, and we'll crack that. So we'll go and get some more parts. Alright, turns out this particular nut is a 19mm. I've got on a slight extension bar. Without the extension bar, it gets a bit close to my handle after my steering wheel, and it's really awkward. So just a little extension bar, drop it on, and you basically just want to give it a bit of a smack, because it's going to be very tight. If you try and wrench it, it probably won't go. So give it a whack, and then we can take the nut off. Right, now one thing to be aware of, you notice my steering wheel is straight. Okay, when you take the steering wheel off, it will need to be in the same position again. Okay, what you can do is put some tape along the top through there, and then draw a line between the two, so you know when you put your steering wheel back on, it is exactly where it was when you took it off. So I'm going to go and do that. Alright, so now I have my tape on the column, tape on the wheel, so I know exactly where the steering wheel sits. Alright, logically speaking, I should be able to basically get this straight off towards me. I don't know how tight it's going to be, so let's find out. Beautiful. That came off relatively easily just by giving it a wiggle this way. Okay, so I don't need any of this. Now I'm going to take the shroud off and see if we can get access to our clock spring. Alright, we'll start with these two screws in here. The shroud's made up of two pieces, a top and a bottom, and these two screws lock the two together. You can get to those with the steering wheel still in place, and it should just separate like that. If it doesn't, you can use some form of pry tool and just give it a bit of a twist in there, and that will separate the two pieces. The top one pushes straight up, and there's a latch at the back corner to lock it in down in here. Okay, now we need to undo all our plugs. We've got a black one at the front. Go. Just get around there better. We have a black one in the middle, and we have our airbag one. Wonder. Nice. So the tricky thing with the plugs, normally it's a push plug like you see everywhere else. When it comes to the airbag ones, there's always some form of smart locking system. On this one, it's a slide release. So you slide that back and then it will come off while you're holding it. Okay. That gives us access to our steering wheel clock spring. Okay, that is straight up and down. These 2 points here are your alignment points. It basically means when you finish turning the wheel and you come back again and it releases your indicators, that's important. And there are 3 clips holding it in place. One there, push that down a little bit. One on this side, again push that down a little bit. And then one on the top, and that lifts up just a little bit. And that is the clock spring clear in my hand. Here's my replacement. Okay. Now what I do notice is that on my one I've got an additional green box. I wonder if I can re-utilise that. Alright, let's go and have a look, see if I can use it. Alright, so there is an additional part on my particular one. Okay, it is held in place by quite a few clips around the outside. Just go pry them back one at a time, and then this will become loose. And then we transfer it across and click it all into place. Okay, these are the clips that's holding in place. So it's really just put your pry tool in and give it a bit of a nudge. But because there's so many of them, it's awkward trying to get the whole thing off in one go. But that is now my replacement clock spring. Let's go and put it in the car. Alright, back in the car. Let's drop our new clock spring back into the vehicle. Slide it on. Click, click, click. Beautiful. So we can plug in our 3 looms. Make sure they're all solid. That looks pretty good to me. Alright, this is a locking pin that comes with the new one to stop that from spinning around. We'll grab our steering column shrouds, put the top piece in. Dropping our 2 screws. Okay, our tag's still on the top. Steering wheel. And line that up. Look at that. Put our nut on. Make sure that is very tight. And then we can plug in our button leads. Alright, reattach our airbag plugs. Push the plug in and lock the yellow pin. Push it in, lock it. Hook up our sole remaining black wire. Line that up. Lovely. And then what to do is retighten our T30 torx. Give it a lock. Put our panel back on. And then do the same on the other side with our T30. Basically, the sole job of these torx is to hold the airbag panel in place. So when the airbag deploys, only the airbag comes out and the whole steering pocket doesn't throw in your face. That would hurt. Alright, everything's done. I'll take off my tape. We'll go and reconnect the battery and give it a try. But ladies and gentlemen, that is clock spring replacement on a 2009 Toyota Aurion Prestara model. Hope that helps. By all means, give it a go, see how you get on. Don't forget to do the battery. And as I said before guys, if you like what you've seen, please subscribe, click on the notifications. There's always new videos coming up with new cars, different things, radios, speakers, wiring, tips and tips of the trade. By all means have a look, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you.